A Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider was recently seen taking part in an aerial refueling exercise with a Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker over eastern California on March 10th. The sortie, which lasted roughly 5 hours and 33 minutes, was documented by multiple photographers who captured clear images of the first B-21 prototype flying in formation behind the specially configured tanker operating from Edwards Air Force Base. The photographs also reveal the presence of the F-16 chase aircraft, commonly assigned to accompany developmental flight tests. Additionally, a modified business jet used as a flight test support platform was involved in the activity. The aircraft was identified as N-879AD, operating from Mojave Air and Spaceport. This aircraft is particularly notable because it represents the only Douglas NC-9D currently operated by Raytheon as an airborne testing platform. The tanker supporting the mission also drew attention. Carrying serial number 61-0320, it is classified as an NKC-135, a variant equipped with specialized instrumentation designed to assist in the testing of advanced aerospace systems. The aircraft's flight path remained visible throughout the mission via Flight Radar 24. According to tracking data, the refueling portion of the flight was conducted at approximately flight level 230, or about 23,000 feet. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why aerial refueling footage of B-21 Raider is worrying news for Russia and China. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider is intended to replace both the Northrop B-2 Spirit and the Rockwell B-1B Lancer within the U.S. strategic bomber fleet. The aircraft is designed with nuclear strike capability, optimized for long-range missions, and incorporates advanced low-observable technology to penetrate sophisticated enemy air defense networks. As a next-generation platform, the bomber is expected to combine high survivability with the ability to conduct deep, long-distance strike operations. In doing so, it will play a key role in maintaining strategic deterrence while supporting the defense of the United States, as well as its allies and security partners. The aircraft is being developed as part of the Long-Range Strike Bomber program. The U.S. Air Force released a request for proposal, RFP, for the program in July 2014, initiating the formal competition to develop the next-generation bomber. On October 27, 2015, the United States Department of Defense awarded the development contract to Northrop Grumman. According to the United States Air Force, the designation B-21 reflects its status as the first new American bomber designed for the 21st century. The name Raider honors the Doolittle Raiders, who carried out the famous surprise bombing raid on Japan during World War II. The sighting of the Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider conducting aerial refueling operations marks an important milestone in the development process. Images and video showing the aircraft taking fuel in midair suggest that the program has progressed into a more advanced phase of flight testing, where engineers are validating complex operational capabilities rather than simply verifying that the aircraft can safely fly. In military aircraft development, aerial refueling trials typically occur only after a platform has successfully completed its initial flight envelope testing. During the earliest stages of a test program, engineers focus on evaluating fundamental aspects such as flight stability, control responsiveness, engine performance, and avionics functionality. Only once these systems have been thoroughly validated does the program move on to more demanding procedures, like refueling from a tanker aircraft. Aerial refueling requires extremely precise flying. The receiving aircraft must maintain stable formation just meters behind a tanker, while a fuel boom operator guides the refueling probe into the aircraft's receptacle. Such operations demand highly refined flight control systems and predictable handling characteristics. The fact that the B-21 is now conducting these maneuvers indicates that its core flight systems and software have reached a level of maturity suitable for complex operational testing. Another reason this milestone is significant is that aerial refueling is fundamental to the mission profile of strategic bombers. Aircraft like the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress and the stealth Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit rely heavily on tanker support to extend their range and endurance. With aerial refueling, these bombers can remain airborne for extremely long periods, allowing them to strike targets across vast distances without relying on forward bases. Testing this capability suggests the B-21 program is now evaluating how the aircraft performs in realistic long-range mission scenarios. The integration of the bomber with tanker aircraft is also an important step in confirming its ability to operate within the broader U.S. military air power network. Strategic bombers rarely operate alone. Instead, they are supported by a range of assets including aerial tankers, airborne early warning aircraft, and escort fighters. Demonstrating compatibility with tanker aircraft, such as the Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker, indicates that the B-21 is beginning to prove its ability to function as part of this larger operational ecosystem. Refueling capability also allows engineers to conduct longer and more complex test flights, which are essential for evaluating advanced systems such as sensors, communications, and mission software. Extended flight durations enable testers to gather large amounts of performance data while simulating the types of long-endurance missions the aircraft will eventually perform in operational service. The United States Air Force and Northrop Grumman have been working to accelerate both the production rate and delivery schedule of the B-21 Raider. The Department of the Air Force and Northrop Grumman have already reached an agreement aimed at supporting this accelerated production effort. At present, 5 to 6 B-21 aircraft are believed to be in various stages of assembly and production. Earlier statements from Air Force officials indicated that the bomber could enter operational service around 2026 to 2027. More recently, the service confirmed that the first production aircraft is scheduled for delivery in 2027 to Ellsworth Air Force Base, which will serve as the type's initial operational base. Preparations at Ellsworth are already underway to support the introduction of the new platform. Multiple construction and modernization projects are currently in progress to establish the infrastructure required for B-21 operations. These efforts include runway expansion work, which temporarily required the base's B-1B Lancer bombers to relocate to Grand Forks Air Force Base. It is also worth noting that the United States Department of Defense linked the start of the program's low-rate initial production, LRIP phase, to the aircraft's first flight. That milestone was achieved on November 10, 2023, when the B-21 conducted its inaugural flight from Palmdale, California. Taken together, current developments suggest that the program is progressing steadily, with no significant production or technical bottlenecks reported so far. The Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider appears to be progressing through an advanced phase of flight testing, with operational deployment widely expected within the next 1 to 3 years. According to Northrop Grumman, the aircraft incorporates next-generation stealth technologies designed to minimize detectability even against the most advanced radar and integrated air defense systems. Former Lloyd Austin emphasized the scale of the technological leap, noting that 5 decades of advancements in low observable design have been integrated into the bomber, enabling it to remain extremely difficult to detect even for sophisticated air defense networks. Officials have also highlighted improvements in operational readiness compared with earlier stealth bombers, such as the Northrop B-2 Spirit. A Northrop Grumman representative indicated that the B-21 is designed to operate in full stealth configuration on a routine basis, requiring significantly less maintenance between missions than the B-2, which historically demanded extensive servicing after each sortie. Although detailed performance specifications remain classified, available statements suggest that the aircraft will possess exceptional range and endurance. Austin previously remarked that the bomber's reach would exceed that of existing platforms, allowing it to hold targets at risk without needing to be permanently based in forward theaters or supported by extensive logistics infrastructure. Beyond stealth characteristics, The platform will feature substantial upgrades in avionics, sensors, and weapons integration. The B-21 has been designed with an open architecture, allowing it to incorporate emerging technologies, including future hypersonic air-to-ground weapons as they become available. For nuclear missions, the bomber is expected to carry the B-61 Mod 12, as well as the developing long-range standoff weapon, LRSO. Once operational, the B-21 is expected to provide the United States with unprecedented deep penetration strike capability, particularly at a time when other major powers are still working to field comparable next-generation bombers. Russia, for example, continues to develop its future stealth bomber under the PAC-DA program. However, progress appears limited, particularly as the country remains heavily engaged in the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. In the meantime, Moscow continues to rely on legacy strategic bombers such as the Tupolev Tu-95 and Tupolev Tu-160. China is also pursuing its own stealth bomber project, commonly referred to as the Xian H-20. The aircraft is expected to eventually replace the Xian H-6, itself a licensed derivative of the Tupolev Tu-16. The H-20 is widely believed to be designed with intercontinental strike capability, potentially making it China's first bomber with true global reach. Although there were expectations that the aircraft might be unveiled before the end of 2022, this has not yet occurred, and its operational timeline remains uncertain.